Welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. Glad you could join me today. As always, smash that like button and subscribe. Share this with a friend so we can help these guys become men. Ooh, that was a rhyme, wasn't it? No. Okay. I'm not a poet, although sometimes I think I am. I've written a few poems to girls. Never goes over too good. I don't recommend that, but some men can do it. Anyway, the topic today is your circle, your group of friends. You become part of what you are around. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, or your 5 best friends. People don't realize the importance of association. What you allow in your ears, what energy you are around, the kind of people you are around, you will pick up their habits, whether they be good or bad, whether they move you towards your goals or away from your goals. You want to be a Casanova? You want to be a Chad? Hang around with guys that are really good with women. That's how I became good with women. Years ago, when I was about 15, I think I was, there was this guy. His name was Johnny. He was older than me. He had a Corvette. And this guy was not that good looking. He actually had a big beer belly, but he always dressed nice. But this guy knew how to handle women. He knew how to pick up women, and for some reason or another, he kind of took me under his wing, and he taught me how to do it. And guess what? I did what he did, and it worked. I never had problems getting women from then on, really, unless I was hunting for them. You cannot find women when you're looking for them. It's like if you're chasing them, they're running away. So it's a mindset thing. But what he taught me was to believe in yourself, to act confident, to just do what you want to do or you know to do without any hesitation. But I learned more by being around him than by listening to what he was saying. I watched this guy. And I copied him. Now, I didn't become him so much that I was like a carbon copy of him, but I took what he did that worked and I implemented that into my personality and my life. And if you're around somebody long enough, you don't actually have to consciously do that. You just start to pick up and you start catching yourself doing the things they do, saying the things they say. This is the power of association. Now, this can work to help you move towards your goals, or it can actually help you to move away from your goals. It can make you go backwards. If you are hanging around with people who are critical, who you can't tell your dreams to, and then in return they will encourage you and help you to believe in yourself, you need to get away from those people. Now, it's much more comfortable to hang around with people who aren't doing much, because then you feel better about yourself. But it doesn't do you any good. For example, back when I was younger, I shot pool. I was a really good pool shot, okay? Now, if I wanted to be good, I shot people that were better, or I played against people that were better than I was. Thus, I improved. I never liked to play with anybody who was the same level as me, or even less, because I just didn't try as hard. Another thing I would do is I would play for money, because then that ups the stakes. That puts the pressure on you to perform better. The same as when I became a professional boxer. I worked out with guys who were better than me. Even though they beat the crap out of me, I became better. Because if you spar with somebody who is less than you or equal to you, you do not rise. You do not rise to I'll say perfection, but to a higher status or to a higher level. You stay the same, or you even drop down. Now, it is important to help other people who are, I'll say below you, but we'll say it this way, that don't have as much skill as you have, because you learn from teaching. But you have to also work out or be around people or associate with people who are better than you, because then you grow and learn. The people that you are uncomfortable with, what is it? You can't reach distant shores unless you take your foot off the one where you are now. Many people want success. Many people want to be great, but they don't want to be uncomfortable. You have to be willing to get out of the comfort zone. You have to be willing to get out of that rut. What's the difference between a rut and a grave? The rut is turned up on both ends, but they're both similar things. You don't go anywhere. When you're in the grave, you're not going anywhere. When you're in a rut, you're not going to go anywhere. A rut could be you hanging around with the same, I hate to say losers, but I don't like that word. It's the same kind of people that you've been hanging with for years that aren't going anywhere. You know, what is the income of your best friend? Okay? It should be greater than yours. Now, income isn't everything, but is your best friend growing metaphysically or spiritually? Is he physically fit? I'll tell you this, the power of association. I don't drink alcohol, right? The only people that I'm around that drink or that have drunk are people that have quit drinking or doing something with themselves. Now, I have nothing against drinking. I have associates and people that drink that are very successful, but they never drank where it was a problem, or they never drank alcoholically. I don't hang around with people who have addictions. I have, and it really drags me down, okay, if I spend too much time with them, okay? So you have to be careful who you are around. Now think about this. Have you ever heard a song on the radio? You didn't like the song, right? And every time it come on, you shut it off. But sometimes you couldn't shut it off. And then after a month or two, you caught yourself singing that song, even though you hated it. Or you're around a friend and they have this phrase or saying or something they say often, and it annoys the heck out of you. And then one day, you catch yourself saying it. Yes, that's the power of association. Now you take that same power and you hang around with those people you are uncomfortable with, and you will start doing the same things that have brought them success. And you don't even really have to make yourself do it. It's the power of association. You become part of what you are around. Okay, if you don't believe that, look around at people. See who they spend time with and look at the success or failure in their life. Look at the people that you admire, that you want to become like. Look at their habits. Look at the people they hang around. Look at who they spend their time with. It's like the old saying in the Bible, have you ever seen a wolf allied with a lamb? So a man loves a man like himself. You will not see very successful people hanging around with poor people. Now, it's nothing against poor people, but poverty is a poverty mentality. I'll tell people sometimes, look, if you want money, you need to think about success, you need to think about having money, you need to think about having abundance in your life. And they'll tell me, well, I think about money all the time. Yes, I'm sure you do, but what do you think about? You think about lack. How am I going to pay the rent? How am I going to pay the electric? Boy, I don't have enough money. There's more month than there is money. And all these sayings, money doesn't grow on trees. What do you think, I'm Rockefeller? All these old sayings, all these old feelings, all these old thoughts, all these old programs, okay? Yeah, they're thinking about money, but they're thinking about how expensive everything. Oh, gas went up 2 cents a gallon. Oh my God, I don't even look at gas. I mean, if it got up to $4 a gallon, I would probably notice it. It's got to jump up quite a bit. I mean, what's the point? I have to have it anyway. All right, what am I going to complain about it? Whatever you complain about grows in your experience. It's been years since I've said, I can't afford that, okay? So what I will say, what I started to say is it's not in the budget right now. I never say I don't have any money. I say I don't have any available cash. If I say I don't have any money, I catch myself, I'll say I don't have any available cash. Because as you know, I have 6 kids. They're always asking me for money. Well, Dad, don't you have your card? I said, yeah, you have to have money in there, which I do. But the cash, I say, I don't have any cash. I don't have any cash. As a matter of fact, I've learned not to bring cash home because they're always asking me for money. And that's something else. I don't just give my kids money for nothing. I'll say, what kind of service can you provide for me? Now, if they have been providing service and I've been paying them and they want $5, $10, whatever, I'll give it to them. For example, one of my sons does a lot of extra stuff. When I ask him to do something for me, he does it, usually without any complaints or hee-hawing around or anything. So I will help him out, and he doesn't even have to ask. It's the same way with the universe or God or divinity or Jesus or Muhammad or Krishna or whatever you want to call your higher power, whatever you believe in. Okay? When you give more to life, life has to give more back to you. When you provide value to the world has to provide value back to you. It's like these videos I do. I don't get anything from these. I don't make any money from these. I do the same thing on Instagram. I help people. I counsel people. I don't charge anything for that. Now, I may charge in the future as I get too busy to take care of everyone. And also, sometimes you need to charge because people don't value what you have if you don't put a value on it. Right now, I have a good business. I have another business, and it brings in a good income, so I can do this for free. Now, would I do this for free? I do it for free. Would I do my would I do my other business for free? Yes, I would. I enjoy it. I love it. I do things for free all the time. Always, every job I do something extra for free. Sometimes they know about it, sometimes they don't. But I'm providing value. Now, I don't expect that back from the person I give it to, but I know, as sure as I live and breathe, that value will come back to me multiplied somewhere down the road. If my, I'm going to say competitors, if the people that were in the same business that I'm in knew how much money I make on certain jobs, they couldn't believe it. Okay, but it's because for years I have given more than I have been paid for. Now I get paid more than I have to do. I mean, it's incredible. I go to people's houses to bid jobs. They want me to do the job. Sometimes they want to pay me before I ever even start for the whole job. I normally take half up front and the other half when I finish. Sometimes if they offer me, I'll take it. But I prefer to take half at front and half when I finish. Sometimes I have payments throughout the job if it's a large job and it's going to take a long time. But the point here is you cannot provide value to the world, to the universe, to God, whatever you want to say, however you want to say it, without value coming back to you multiplied. This, in the same respect, if you take value from somebody, whether it be time, emotions, or I can't think of whatever, whether you steal money, whatever you take from somebody, it's going to be taken from you multiplicatively from somewhere, usually not from the person you took it from. So remember that. When you're out there in the world, remember when you're talking to someone, you're talking to one of God's kids, okay? And you're taking from one of God's kids, if you want to look at it like that. I'm not a religious guy, okay? I use the word God because sometimes it's simpler. I don't understand the concept of divinity or God or any of that. I really don't understand that. I think we as humans have tried to describe a power, a force of love or magnificence that we don't have the vocabulary to describe. We describe it using our human limited vocabulary, words that we are used to, that we use for our limited human experience. We have so much unlimited power, and we are so unlimited, but we can't see it because we are trapped in this physical body. Have you heard these experiences where people have died? It's like they expand and they feel nothing but love. They don't have all these limitations of emotion once they pass and they leave their body. You may or may not believe that. I choose to believe that to be true. It's the body, it's the emotions and things that hold us back from being what we can be. That's why it's very important to meditate, to contemplate, to focus on working on yourself within here so you can not eliminate these emotions, but learn how to, I wanted to say suppress, but not that either, how to accept them and to not allow them to run your life. Especially as a man, you need to, as a man, control your emotions. Now, I'm not saying don't feel your emotions. What I'm saying is to control them, to not act on every emotion that you feel. It's like anger, sadness, frustration. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be angry. Go beat the punching bag. yell, scream, whatever you have to do. But find a way to release that anger, because it needs to be released in a healthy, constructive way. Not by starting a fight or yelling at the clerk or at the policeman that pulls you over when you say you weren't going over the speed limit. These ways are self-destructive. All these emotions you need to learn how to deal with, how to control, and what are they trying to tell you about yourself that needs to change within you? What are these emotions telling you? You know, the emotion of anger, you're driving down the road and someone cuts you off and you get angry about that. That has nothing to do with the guy that cut you off. You already had anger within you from something. And these occurrences happen to allow you to express that anger and to let you know that you have something inside of you that you need to deal with that you're not dealing with. Many times we have emotions within us that hold us down and we don't even know what they're from. Anger from when we were a child and maybe our parents didn't treat us with love or what we felt like was love. We didn't get what we needed emotionally when we were young. And we hold all this in and then we project it in the outer world and we experience things to show us that we have this within us. So when anything ever angers you or frustrates you or you feel sadness and you think it's because it's happening out there, look within yourself and ask yourself, what sadness is within me that has created this situation out here to show me that I have something in me that I am not aware of. Awareness is so important. You have to be aware of what is going on inside of you. And when you do that, and when you can be aware of that and be aware of what you are thinking, what in your actions and the things you are taking action on, you have some control over your outer world. But you don't actually control your outer world, but you control this in here, and then it reflects in your outer world. You see people who are very happy, and you may say, oh, I'd be happy too if I had everything he has. Look at the happy things that happened to him. No, those happy things and the things that he has are all a reflection of what he has inside of him. He is the cause. That is an effect. Everything in your outer world is an effect. You are the cause. Remember that. You are the cause. Hey, thanks for joining me. Smash that like button, subscribe, share this with a friend if you think it will be of value to them. And as always, if you would like to get my help personally, you can contact me at marksinspirationalguidance@gmail.com. Have a great day.